Hi there, everyone, and welcome to this week's Akashic Soul Wisdom Show. We are in for a real treat talking about finances and money with the beautiful Michelle Boss. Hi, Michelle.
Good day.
Hi. So lovely to have you here. Can't wait to get into this topic of money and juicy topic that it is. So welcome everybody. If you're watching the replay, please type #replay. Do ask us questions as we go through today. Michelle and I will come back to it later on if you tag us and if you've got any questions about anything. We always love to engage in a conversation here on the show. And yeah, for those of you that are new to me, who don't know me, I'm Natasha Harris from Mind, Body and Soul Energy, and I work with the wisdom of the Akashic Records, supporting conscious business owners and entrepreneurs to really take their next level of impact and leadership in their life and business. So welcome to those that are new to the group, new to any of the other platforms that we're streaming live on right now, which is really super exciting that we can do that. And so, Michelle, just tell us a little bit about you and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here talking about one of my favorite topics, and I'm out here in California. So good day, hence the American accent. I am a personal finance coach and educator, as well as businesswoman here in the wine country in Northern California, just east of San Francisco.
Beautiful.
And really help solopreneurs and business owners as well with their business finances, getting those in order and providing accountability so that we can all thrive as the CFO of our businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you call yourself the money boss. It's just such a brilliant title, so fitting as well. And yeah, just having known you for quite some time. And so I'm so delighted that you're here and sharing this really valuable information, because if we haven't got our finances sorted in our business, then gosh, it's really hard to get anything and build on anything thereafter if we haven't got those foundations built on, isn't it? So yeah, so tell us a little bit about your journey, because I know it's been an interesting one, how you got to be the money boss, and oh wow, beautiful sunny California. I love it.
Yes, so I'm a mom of two. They're a little older now, 10 years and 13 years old. And really my journey into personal finance started in my 20s with an interest, maybe even before that. My dad's a retired CPA. My mom is a bookkeeper, both entrepreneurs. So I've always grown up in that environment. But I went into corporate after college, and 16 years in corporate and a very structured environment. And when I left, fortunately, I had some time to take off and figure out what I really wanted to do. And about the same time, or a few years before that, I had gone through a divorce. So that's really where my coaching and educator journey with personal finance started, because I was had full custody of my two young ones and had a household to run, and I was supporting my ex-husband. I was paying him alimony. So it was a lot of pressure, and the cost of living out here in California is one of the highest in the world. So a lot of pressure, and I would lay awake at night really stressed over how I was going to make all this work, how I was going to put a roof over our heads, and just not only survive, but I wanted to do more than just survive. I wanted to thrive. So the really key turning point or shift for me was writing everything down. Just all my worries, everything that was all my expenses, everything I had to take care of, all of the different things going on, my income. And once I really put pen to paper, because I am old school like that.
Yeah, me too. I got pen in my hand.
Yes, there's a great connection that happens when you put pen to paper. And that's really when it all came together for me. And I could see, wow, this will work. I have a plan. If I just stick to the plan, that was really a huge shift in my peace of mind. And fast forward a few years later when I left corporate and decided I wanted to help others with their personal finances, because we are not taught this in school, especially if we're going into business as a solo or an entrepreneur. A lot of times we just, aren't taught some best methods and given the tools that we need to really thrive with our finances, personal and business. That's when I drew upon that experience and developed some of the tools and ways that I teach today with my clients still use today.
Yeah, brilliant. And I know you're going to share some of that with us, which is really exciting, but it's so important, isn't it? And the money piece is not taught in UK schools either. And it's just, we're not taught about how to harness and nurture that relationship with money, and not to be afraid of money, and to have, all these worries about money. And as you said, I love the way you said, you wrote down all your worries and kind of put the pen to paper around that, because we can then really see what our money story is, I guess, and what our worries truly are. So we can then look to see, well, what is in my control, and how can I overcome these and shift that to be more empowered around money. And as you say, thriving, because we are, as business entrepreneurs, we want to thrive in business. We don't want to just survive. That's a hard slog. That's a hard, long journey, isn't it?
That's right. And that's why I love being here, because our work is so complementary, where you focus on the mindset and getting into that abundance space. And it's so important to have that piece of it. And then there's also the practical side. And that's where I really love to teach methods and, what to do, not only once you have money to manage, but before that, what systems can you put in place to build a really strong foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you're a hugely successful entrepreneur out in California, and setting up a multi-million-pound project right now, which is really fascinating. Tell us just a little bit about that, because I just love to hear about it.
Wow. So it is my passion project. It's purely an opportunity that I saw here, not only from an amazing business opportunity standpoint, but for the community here. We have over 60 wine growers in a very historic region of California that are lacking the boutique lodging experience to really draw an international audience. So this project that I stumbled upon literally is here in the community. It's been planned for over 25 years, and it was just sitting there waiting for me. Of course, I didn't realize that, but out of curiosity, I started asking questions and was afraid. I didn't pursue it. And then a year later, because it kept calling in all these different ways, I came back to it and I just took the first step. That was 3 years ago. And today, finally, it was fast, but in the overall scheme, but 3 years later, we are shovel ready. We are ready. We're just pulling together the funding and financing right now, fundraising, and then we can break ground. So exciting. It's a 30-room inn with a large restaurant and a caretaker's unit. So my plan is to live on site, manage that business, retire my husband into taking care of the property with me, and continue with my one-on-one coaching. It's been an amazing experience from developing business, because I'm not a land developer before this project. So just, new perspectives, new experiences that help, that I can bring back to the coaching piece. Pretty cool. It's fun.
It's so cool. It really is. And there's a name on one of those rooms as soon as that inn is open. So my name's on one of those rooms for sure. So, but what an incredible, opportunity that you were able to grab and seize, and to take those first steps and just see where it's rolling. Now you're breaking ground, which is so exciting. And I'm sure many people who are watching this right now, or who will watch it later. So someone's just said hello. I can't see your name, so just pop your name in the chat box as well. Hello to whoever that is. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your practical financial strategies and your tips that you want to share.
Yeah, great. And you know, if you've gathered already, I didn't get to this point in my life overnight. And so it's really, really important as I, you know, go into these tips that, you know, you understand it's a journey, not an event. And I was able to pursue the opportunity with this, you know, project here in Livermore because I was prepared, and years and years of doing the things that I knew were building a good, strong financial foundation. Not to say there aren't hiccups or ups and downs on the way, or you have to do everything right, but by, you know, instilling some of those practices as early as possible, even if you don't know what's down the road, even if you don't know what opportunities are going to present themselves, you're prepared. And so I would say that that's the number one thing that I see my clients and business women, you know, making as far as mistakes, is not acting today as if you're living the life that you are creating, that you want to be living. Because if you're not, I mean, you say that all the time, take action on what you want. But it's so true. And, you know, if we're not paying attention to what's going to create, or what is how we want to be, we're not going to ever manifest that opportunity or manifest that way of being if you're not just being that. So
absolutely.
Yeah, in a practical sense, translating that, you know, in business, that looks like commingling our personal and our business funds. It looks like avoiding, you know, taxes, and treating the gross income that we're bringing in from our business as the bottom line. And it's very different. So those are just three very practical examples of those mistakes that I see business women make, especially in the beginning, but not always. You know, sometimes there's entrepreneurs or business people very well far down the path that are still doing those things that could be improved upon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hear that too. And it's like, it's really knowing, you know, what you're doing, and around the finances and how you are viewing them. It's so important to build those foundations and to know where you are in the start. And I talk to so many entrepreneurs and people who are in business who don't really even know what their outgoings are, and they're just setting up their business and money's flying out, and you're like, well, what's your monthly outgoings? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And then it's like, but I'm in debt. I know I'm in debt. I was like, well, if you don't know what you need to cover as a basis, then how can you plan for covering that basis? It's just in and out, and you don't know what that looks like. And I you know, having always had quite a good handle on money, it's just something I work with my clients as well, to just turn around. And it's just, you're right, people are still doing it years later in their business.
Yeah, but that's the number one thing, is that spending plan or budget and knowing what's coming or going. I mean, that is the number one step to take if you don't know where to start. Putting the pen to paper, figuring that out, what's coming and going, so you can make those adjustments and really get a good handle on where you're at and strategize to where you want to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. Great first tip. So that's something, you know, that we can look at. You know, it's not difficult. We just got to be willing to look at, right?
That's right. Yep. And that is something that is what you focus on is what you accomplish, right? If you've heard that before. So really important to create a habit out of that, and just instill it with your discipline, you know, like a practice, like a yoga practice or a meditation or journaling practice. Really important to make that part of your being, either personal finance or business.
Yeah, absolutely. Great first tip. Yeah. So so, you know, there's lots of like beautiful things that you can really do by looking at it. So what else is there that people can do as a practical step?
Well, So we've talked about focusing on the finances and really making it a habit. So I want to share a few golden nuggets on
Yeah.
ways that you can really anchor that practice.
Yeah.
Because we know now we've brought up that we're not taught this in school. You know, sometimes we don't know what to do. There can be fear, not only fear of the numbers, but fear of what we're going to find once we create that spending plan or budget, right? Maybe it's there's not going to be enough, or maybe it's our success and we're actually afraid of saying, wow, I'm doing really well, but I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to change anything because I'm doing really well. And sometimes the numbers,
not an answer.
Some people, the self-defeating, right? The self-defeating practices that we have or beliefs that we have sometimes. And then for others, it just feels tedious or boring. So the first golden nugget I want to share as you're making this a habit is make it fun.
Yes.
Use what we know with behavioral psychology and make it fun. Associate that time. And I do recommend setting a time on your calendar, a recurring time weekly. There's always something to look at, either personal or business or both. So weekly set time on your calendar that you honor, that is anchored by a couple other set appointments. So that you know you're going to be at your desk in that mode at that time. And then associate something fun that you're really looking forward to. And some ideas, could be your favorite cup of tea or your favorite beverage. Prepare that beforehand, have it ready so that you're looking forward to that tea when you sit down with your numbers. And when you get, play nice music.
That's the thing that I was thinking of. Put some nice music on.
Yes. I mean, if it's something that can play in the background and soothe you, or, even before you start, because I like to work in silence, I will put on kind of as a ritual or a routine to help me drop down into that space. As soon as I hear this song, right, or it's a bell sometimes, I drop right in because I've conditioned myself. This is my deep thinking time for my money. It's a fun song that's uplifting and just makes me feel like a boss, just like, okay, I'm ready. I got this. I'm ready to rock it. And then at the end, why not anchor something at the end that you're looking forward to? Maybe it's a walk with your dog, or a walk with a friend, an accountability call with your coach or your accountability partner is perfect. Very key, because with that accountability, and that's really the other golden nugget, the accountability piece is really going to help ensure that you're sitting down and doing those practices. And then you can immediately, check in with your accountability partner to report on your progress.
Yeah, that's so important, isn't it, as well? And I love that, just that bringing a sense of fun. And I've not really thought about, myself, and I'm definitely going to go away and do that. For me, this is definitely a golden nugget for me, is just to spend some time on it. I actually do quite enjoy looking and doing the numbers, but I don't make it into something that I consciously bring the fun element into it. I kind of enjoy it, but I know that if I brought that conscious element of fun into it, it would change it completely and entirely. So yeah, thank you for that nugget. I've written it down with my pen.
When it's fun even with a spouse, because I get this question a lot as well. How do I handle the finances if I have a spouse? And I like to call it a money date. So you could even give your money time a name, money date, make it fun, even if it's with yourself. You can have a money date with yourself, you and your business. And, just make sure that you've got a full tummy. You're not going into it grumpy or, with other needs. You wouldn't want to enter a conversation with someone on an important topic with an empty stomach, right? You're going to go out on your date with dinner and maybe a glass of your favorite beverage. So
Yeah.
get creative with it, have fun. It could be on a weekend, it could be in the middle of your business week, but the key is the consistency and to keep coming back to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, the accountability piece really is a golden nugget as well, because if we don't have something to hold us accountable to doing it, we kind of like we're good at making excuses as human beings. Oh, I'll do it next week, or I won't look at it. And so having that accountability is key. So what else?
Well, I wanted to share some of the numbers that are really key as a business owner that we've touched on before, but just to recap for everyone. This is not, specific key performance indicators or metrics for your business, such as customer service. This is just sticking with the numbers today, but knowing your numbers is so important, and it helps you to be a better business owner. It helps you to plan strategically for growth in your business. It helps you to know when to spend on marketing or other expenses if your business can handle that. So a really key, first and foremost, is your income. So knowing what's coming in, and you've kind of spelled this out already, Natasha. Income, expenses, everything. You can find this on your bank statements, Venmo, PayPal. Sometimes there's credit cards. Sometimes there's a lot of different places that this information is. So pulling all that together is key. Statements to get a full picture of everything. And then the top line, your gross income, what's coming in minus your expenses, is the net income. So really big difference between your gross income, your net income. Very important to know your net income. And first and foremost,
minus.
Yes, exactly. And that net income is where your owner's draw, paying ourselves, comes from. So very important. And profit in your business. So, if you want to pay yourself and have a profitable business, you have to look at that bottom line. And if there's not enough there for you, or not as much as you want or need to be drawing from your business, then you go back and look at the expenses and see what changes you need to make.
And again, it's like, I don't think that's a point that we can we have to keep revisiting. That was the thing I want to say. It's like, it's always ever changing. So if you don't look at it for 6 months and then you're like, oh crap, like how did I get to here? Because you didn't keep track and you didn't look at it, right? So it's like, it's so important to remember that. And that's like that little reminder of, we've got to know our numbers. We've got to know how, because otherwise we undervalue ourselves as well. If we like saying, well, I can't really pay myself this month. It's like all that work we're putting in. I mean, like, we need to know that we can afford to pay ourselves first and foremost.
Yes, hence the weekly money dates. So it's part of a disciplined practice. And so you're an informed business owner, and you can make adjustments in a timely manner as needed. I guess that's how you it is. And I guess that's how you get to be the boss of you, right? And your money, and you get to thrive with it, because otherwise it's like money here, money there, and it's such a space of lack. And as we know, it's like we want to be in this space of abundance, that we can really create that, and it comes from taking practical steps. There's no magic in it. We've got to do the shit. That's right. But if there's one mantra from you, is take action. Take action. It's not magic. It doesn't happen on its own. No, exactly. Oh my goodness, that's so helpful. Was there one more nugget in there, or was that 4 of them? Well, the
Is that
last piece is the tools. So the practical tools that you need to organize. Key here is it doesn't matter what you use as long as you find something that works for you.
Yeah.
That's the right way. That's the right thing, is just finding something that works for you, because there's a lot of different solutions out there. But where I generally recommend starting off at is a Google Doc or an Excel spreadsheet. Very powerful tool, very simple, and you can keep everything in one place. QuickBooks Self-Employed is another basic application that's pretty straightforward and intuitive to use. All kinds of apps out there though, and methods. So just find what works for you. I do have a budgeting tool that is on my Linktree. So I know we're going to share all that information
definitely
for everyone. So you can go there if you want to check out the budgeting tool that I use and I teach all my clients. It's a basic tool. There's many more components that I work on for the whole picture with my coaching clients, but it's a great place to start, just to help visually organize what's coming and going so that you can get a handle on where things are at.
Brilliant. We will definitely be sharing that in the links below, so make sure you grab that. Brilliant. Thank you. So there are tools out there. I think sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming in terms of what's available, and I guess keeping it simple in that sense, as you say, like an Excel sheet worked pretty well. I did that for quite a few years. I actually still do keep track. I have a package now, but I do keep still track on an Excel sheet, just because it's just there in an easy format, and you can quickly just see what you're bringing in, and I don't usually do my expenses there, but just to see what's coming in, and I know where I'm heading towards, which is great. And I guess as also, I think from what you were saying, it feels really simple. If you put the time aside, you can do this relatively quickly, right?
Literally 15 minutes a month is all that I need for my business, and then 15 minutes for my household personal expenses, because once you have it dialed in, and there is some lifting at the forefront to build out your spending plan or budget, but once you have that in place, it's literally just reviewing that, plugging in some numbers, making adjustments, and you can have your entire business for an entire year on a Google Doc or Excel spreadsheet with everything right at the tip of your fingers, not only for decision making and planning, but come tax time, you hand that over to your bookkeeper or your CPA, and it's everything that they need to prepare those books for you. So
how easy is that? I mean, you can't. I mean, like, I thought you were going to say 15 minutes a week, and then it's like you said a month, and I'm like, oh wow, that's so cool. Like okay, you've got to put the things in place to get it to that, but to know that going forwards, I mean, like, we can all manage that, and to feel so empowered around our money as a result of it, that is definitely worth spending the 15 minutes, like a bit of time at the front, and then 15 minutes a month, and really knowing where you are. Oh my goodness. So that's so super easy for everyone that's watching. Let us know if you've got any questions or thoughts around this, and like how you are with your money. Just let us know. Pop any questions or thoughts in the chat box. And so we're going to be sharing, obviously, your Linktree, so that the people can download your budgeting tools. Is there anything else you want to share with anyone? Just a final parting tip or something else?
Just can't drive home the accountability enough. Not going it alone, and reaching out for support when you need it. So I always keep a couple of spaces open for one-on-one clients, and if you want additional support around resetting and getting a plan in place, and some accountability to get some traction with that plan, definitely reach out, and I'm happy to help. I don't have any public events coming up right now. Mostly just classes and things that I'm teaching for groups, but It's one of
Cool.
the best gifts you can give yourself.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I can highly recommend Michelle as well. So we will pop a link on how to get in touch with Michelle as well in the comments and in the links, so that you can have that. And yeah, just I guess be responsible for your money.
Yes, it's very empowering, as scary as it is up front, you know, when you just face that fear and start writing things down. It's incredibly empowering to know that you get to tell your money where it's going. You get to make the decisions and be the CFO of your finances.
Yeah. How wonderful is that? We get to make the choice. Oh my goodness, what an amazing conversation. Thank you so much. I've loved it. I'm definitely going to go away and put that in my diary and slot some time in, and and have some fun with it. Those are the two things that I'm definitely taking away from today. So let us know what you're going to take away from today. Let Michelle and I know. We'd love to hear what nugget you enjoyed the most and that you definitely want to go away and implement. So again, thank you so much for joining me all the way from California. Isn't technology amazing that we can have this conversation across a huge big pond, and it's just run seamlessly and perfectly, and hopefully gives everyone that's been watching some value as well. So thank you, Michelle. It's been a delight to have you here and sharing your wisdom.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And anyone that's watching, let us know if you've got any questions. And we'll see you next week for the Soul Wisdom Show here again, 4 p.m. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.